going to start with our inner row. We had made these center inner rows earlier, and so now we're going to continue with these rows with the remaining 2 that we have. We're going to add a block 6A and B to this block. We're going to do like we have done before, and we're going to flip it over, line everything up, pin, sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance, and we're going to press towards the block 6 blocks, or the outside. Repeat on the opposite side and do that one more time to get 2 rows. From there, we're going to add another block. So let me go and do the sewing, and I'll be right back. We've just completed adding block 6 to our ends of our center inner row. So now we're going to add bonus block 1 to our rows, placing them on the opposite ends of each row. You're going to sew them on just like before and press towards the outside. This will complete our inner rows. And then we can add these rows to our center row next. So now we're ready to sew our inner rows on our center of our quilt. You're just going to flip them over, right sides together, line everything up, pinning, lining seams, interlocking, and then you're going, when you get done sewing your 1/4 inch seam allowance, you're going to press away from your quilt. And then you're going to do the same thing from the bottom inner row. You're going to flip it over again, sew a 1/4 inch seam, and press away. When we come back, I'll show you how to make the outer rows. We've just completed sewing on our inner rows to our quilt top. So now we're ready to make our outer rows. To do that, we're going to need to use our outer rows center that we had made earlier. We had 2 of them. And we're going to sew bonus block 1 to each of the ends of this row. We're going to repeat this twice. And once we get them sewn, we're going to press them towards the center. So let me go ahead and do this, and we'll be right back to show you how to sew on the last block. We've just completed adding bonus block 1 to our outer rows. So now we're ready to add our last block, which is block 1. We're going to place those on both ends, and we're going to press towards the center as we have been with this whole row. So when we come back, I'll have this done, and we will sew them on to our quilt top. We just completed our outer rows. I have placed them on the bottom with the gold away from the center, and one on the top, again, the gold is away from the center. So now we're ready to sew them on to our quilt top. We're going to do it like we did with inner row. We're going to flip it over, interlock seams, pin as necessary, and sew a 1/4 inch seam allowance. We're going to press again away from the quilt center. Once we have this complete, we'll come back and we'll show you what is next for your quilt top. Welcome back. We're now finished our center of our Ramblin Star quilt top. We are now ready for our borders to be sewn on. The colors for your borders are gold, white, and purple. Please follow your pattern instructions for assembly, yardage requirements, and cutting instructions. Our Ramblin Star quilt top is now complete and ready for quilting. Once you've completed your Ramblin Star quilt, please email me a picture of your beautiful quilt. I would sure love to see it. Thank you for joining me throughout this Ramblin Star Block of the Month video series, and happy quilting!